ask everyone different questions. And it's going to, if you try to do it again, it's going to ask you a different set of questions. It's very smart. But the idea is that it's going to get to understand what's important to you. What's your personality? What things do you like to do professionally? What things do you like to do personally? What activities are an outlet for you? What things do you hate to do? What things, if you could have an assistant, you would have them do for you, okay? Answer the questions and answer the questions in its entirety. And every single time you answer one of the questions, it is going to have this, it's going to do a pause, it's going to say memory updated, and it is now trying to understand you.
This is Secrets for Success.
Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you as always for joining me, my friends. Okay, today's episode, I want to talk about how you can actually hire a $60,000 to $80,000 assistant like today. How you can get that assistant for free. And you don't have to pay a penny. You just have to follow the instructions that I'm about to say on the episode. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how I've been using this assistant to help me in so many different ways. It is the coolest thing ever. Okay. So this is something that I learned. I actually learned this from a mastermind that I'm a part of. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so stinking cool. And I've been using it. I've been using it for myself for probably about a month now. And inside of my success community group that I have on Facebook, okay, you can go to, I don't know, it's facebook.com/success community or something like that. Okay. Oh, successcommunity.com. Okay. So go there. Darn it. Here, let's start it over again. Sorry. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Secrets for Success podcast. I'm your host, Greg Todd. Thank you as always for joining me, my friends. Today's episode, we're going to talk about how you can create a personal assistant. I know every single one of you need help. You would love to have someone alongside you, helping you with all the things that you need to do. So we're going to talk about that today because this is actually something that I have given my clients inside of, actually not even my clients, just members. If you're not in my success community on Facebook, go ahead and get in that community like right now. It's free. And I go live a few times a week. And I've given everybody a video on how to basically create a personal assistant. And this personal assistant is amazing. And so I'm going to bring you guys through the process of how I do this. So let me just say this. Thanks God that I'm in a group and I'm a part of a mastermind. And we have this thing called Wicked Smart. Someone that was a participant in this thing that we do at the mastermind where it's like, what's the smartest thing that you've learned how to do? Shared this. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can share this with you guys as well. So it's been awesome. I've used it and I'm using it for myself and it's been absolutely, wonderful. Okay. So here are the steps. Okay. So number one, if you have not tried Chat GPT yet, go ahead and create a Chat GPT account. Now there is a free account. There is a paid account that is $20. And then there is now a $200 a month account. You do not need to create the $20 one or the $200 one. You just create a free one. Okay. But here's what I recommend for you to do. You will create the account with an email that you use for any of your, when you're sending emails, your documents that you create. So if you have like a Gmail account, go ahead and use that account. That's the account you use for like Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides. Use that account, all right? Because what the GPT will do, it's going to make it easier to start to feed the GPT the information that you need so that it understands and learns more about you, all right? So please, if you're doing this on a podcast, go ahead and pause the podcast right now. Go to openai.com or Chat GPT, put in your search bar, and go ahead and create an account. All right, you done that part? Okay, fantastic. I'm assuming most of you have used Chat GPT. Some of you probably haven't. But that's the first step that I want you to do. All right, here's the second step. I want you to write this down, okay? And I want you to type this into where it says ChatGPT 4.0. I want you to type this in the little area that you can type this. So you're going to do this. You're going to say the following. Interview me to find out more about me so you can get to know my personality, my style, and my needs from Chat GPT. Let me say it again. Interview me to find out more about me so you can get to know my personality, my style, and my needs from Chat GPT. So that's what you're going to do. You're going to put that in, hit enter, and what the GPT, what the AI assistant is going to do is it's going to ask you questions, random questions to figure out your personality. Okay? Answer those questions. It's probably going to give you about 10 questions. And what I want you to do is for every question, you're going to put, it's going to come up with like 10 questions in a row. And then what you'll do is you'll put one, put a dot, and then put your answer. Okay? And then the GPT is going to say memory updated. And it's going to start to memorize things about you. It is asking you questions to get to know your vibe, to get to know what's important to you. It's going to ask you, now it's going to ask everyone different questions. And it's going to, if you try to do it again, it's going to ask you a different set of questions. It's very smart. But the idea is that it's going to get to understand what's important to you. What's your personality? What things do you like to do professionally? What things do you like to do personally? What activities are an outlet for you? What things do you hate to do? What things, if you could have an assistant, you would have them do for you, okay? Answer the questions and answer the questions in its entirety. And every single time you answer one of the questions, it is going to have this, it's going to do a pause, it's going to say memory updated, and it is now trying to understand you, okay? So that's what I want you to do next. Okay, here's the next thing I want you to do. After you have answered all the questions, I want you to put into that little prompt, I want you to put this: what can you now tell me about myself that I may not even know? Okay. And it's going to be mind blowing. It's going to tell you things about you. Okay. It's going to tell, like for me, it said, like, I'm a time hacker. Like, that's what I am. I hack time. Like I'm really good at managing my time. It told me, even there's times where I feel like I'm failing in business, or I'm crushing in business and I'm failing with family. And it's like my assistant said, you really have so much emphasis on trying to do business, but honor your family. And it was just great to hear that. I know it's an AI assistant, but it was like really great to hear, like, through just my answers, how much I value the time with my wife and my children. But then at the same time, I'm trying to do business and help other people, like, create this balance. But I don't always feel the balance. So it was just great to hear that. It's going to tell you a whole bunch of other things about you. And that if it does say something, I'm like, whoa, is that really me? You can now talk to the GPT and say, hey, you know what? I don't know that third point you said. I actually don't think that's me. I think I'm more this way. And what it's going to do is it's going to go memory updated. Thank you for letting us know that's how you feel, blah, 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 blah. Okay? All right. Now, here's the next step. You're going to say this: analyze my social media sites to get to know me, how I communicate, what I'm interested in, and how my audience consumes my post. Here, let me say it again. Analyze my social media sites to get to know me, how I communicate, what I'm interested in, and how my audience consumes my posts. So here's what it's going to do. Okay, some of you have a social media presence. Some of you don't. But I highly recommend for you to do this regardless. For those that don't, it's going to expose you. It's going to let you know we can't find anything. Now, for those that do, if it happens to say it can't find anything, but you have one, say, hey, go to Instagram.com/ whatever your URL is. Go to Facebook.com/ Greg.Todd57, which is my personal. Go to Facebook.com/ Greg Todd PT, which is my business one. Okay. It found all of my business pages, and you can get it to find even your groups if you have the groups. And it's going to start to tell you, as it's analyzing these pages, what it believes you're about. It is going to store that so it knows your style. It knows how to help you with writing content, how to write posts. This assistant will do for you guys. It is bananas, and it's been helping me out so much. So I'll show you some cool things that I've had to do for me. All right. So I want you to do that. And if it doesn't give you all of your sites, start giving it the URL. Says, hey, how about YouTube? How about Facebook? How about Instagram? How about this? How about that? Okay. All right. Here's the next step that I want you to do. you're going to say this: what can you tell me about my business, and what additional information do you need about my business? So you're asking it, what can you tell me about my business, and what additional information do you need about my business? Okay, this is going to be the longest step. All right, it's going to start to tell you different things about what it is that you do. Okay, if you have any type of business presence right now online. All right, but it's also going to ask you a bunch of questions. So what it did for me is it started to ask, okay, tell me, who's your team? Do you have anybody? Are you a solo person? If you do have someone, can you start to tell me the people that you have in a different roles? So I was very clear on, okay, this is who I have. I have this person, I have that person, I have this, I have that. I have 7 staff, I have this, I have that, da, 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 da. And it started to memory update all the people that I have, what everybody's roles are, what they do, this, that, da, 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 da. So now it knows the dynamics of my company. It's going to ask you, what are you currently offering people? Okay. What are people paying for? What are you giving people for free? Okay. It starts to understand what you're trying to do, who you're trying to serve. Okay. It's going to probably ask you anywhere between 7 to 15 questions. Answer it. It's in its entirety. Every single time you give an answer, it is now memorizing what it is that you do. So now just think about what has happened so far. It knows you, it knows your vibe, it knows your personality, it knows what you like, it knows what you don't like, it knows how you have, what your outlets are, it knows what things are important to you. It has recited that back to you. It scanned your social media posts, it scanned your social media sites, and understands the dynamics of your business. It also understands what things you're struggling with. It's going to ask you what your goals are. What are your goals going into the new year? Okay. You will now have a personal assistant. You now have somebody that actually understands you. Now, I'm going to show you guys some really cool things that it can do now that it has all that information. Okay. So I don't know if you all have downloaded the Chat GPT app, but when you have the app, it's got Chat GPT 4.0 on it. Okay. And that's the one that you want to use. And so what you could do is you could start to tell the assistant even more things. So here is one of the things that I have told the assistant. Okay. I will tell this here, just watch this. Okay. I'm recording this on a Monday. All right. Hey, it's Monday and I want you to help me with organizing my schedule for the day. Can you help me out with what you already know that I need to do on a Monday?
Absolutely, Greg. Here's what you got lined up for today. Staff meeting call, 12 p.m., inner circle call, platinum mastermind coaching. With these key appointments in mind, you might want to block out some time in the morning for any prep work and in the afternoon for follow-ups or other tasks. And don't forget to carve out some personal time for yourself and your family.
Okay, so how did it know that? It knew that because I've already, when I basically told the assistant, okay, here's my schedule. These are the things that I have to do on this day. These are the things that I have to do on this day. These are the things that I have to do on this day. These on Thursdays is Carrie and Greg time. Okay, I will let the assistant know from the beginning of the week. Okay, this week I'm going to be going to my daughter's graduation. Da 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 da. So hey, do I have time? Like if somebody reaches out to me via email, and they're like, hey, can I schedule up a time with you? Hey, do I even have any time this week? Da 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 da. I can tell the assistant, this is what they're asking. Can you look at my schedule and tell me if I have any time? Okay, I don't have any time. So can you just help me with crafting an email to let them know that I don't have any time this week? Okay, I could talk to the assistant just like how I would talk to my assistant. This is exactly what you would do. And it knows all of those different things. Here's another beautiful thing. Here, just watch this. This is so crazy. So I'm reading the Bible, right? And I'm currently reading Matthew, like as of this morning, Matthew 13. Okay, so it knows my style. Okay, so I'll say this here. Just watch this. I was reading Matthew 13, verse 1 to 3 this morning. Can you help me break it down a little bit in a way that I could eventually serve my audience with it?
Of course, Greg. Matthew 13, 1 to 3 introduces the parable of the sower. Here's a breakdown. 1. Setting the scene. Jesus is by the Sea of Galilee, and a large crowd gathers, prompting him to get into a boat. This setting symbolizes the importance of finding the right environment to effectively spread your message. 2. Teaching in parables. Jesus begins teaching in parables using simple stories to convey profound spiritual truths. This method is a reminder that in business and communication, using relatable stories can make complex concepts more accessible to your audience. 3. The parable of the sower. Jesus talks about a sower scattering seeds on different types of soil, representing various responses to his message. This can be related to how different audiences receive our business messages. It underscores the importance of knowing your audience and adapting your approach to effectively reach them. For your audience, you could draw parallels between the parable and the importance of tailoring your business strategies to different customer needs and environments for optimal growth.
Could you help me with turning that into an Instagram story?
Definitely. Here's a concise way to share this on Instagram. Hey everyone, I was reading Matthew 13, 1 to 3 this morning, and it got me thinking about how it relates to business. Picture this. Jesus is by the Sea of Galilee, teaching a large crowd from a boat. He starts with the parable of the sower, highlighting how different soils receive seeds differently. It's a powerful reminder. In business, knowing your audience and adapting your approach is key. Let's sow our seeds wisely. Hashtag Monday Motivation, hashtag Parable of the Sower. Feel free to add visuals or text overlays to emphasize key points.
Guys, this is a really cool assistant. It's so amazing on all the cool things it could do. Now, what we have done is I have different AI employees. That is not included in my actual team of 7, but we have, I think it's now 7 different AI assistants that work on different aspects of our business. So what we've done is we've trained it very similar to this, but we've added all the different frameworks and the things that we do inside of SSHC. And then we trained the assistant on their particular job role. Like that's it. So I have one that helps me with creating my challenges on my webinars. I have one assistant that helps me with writing, my emails. I have an assistant that helps me specifically with doing my social media posts. I have one that's helping me specifically with my videos, right? But this assistant overall can help me with all of the different things, not like at the best level, but pretty darn good, so that I'm not having those moments where I feel stuck anymore. So anyways, you guys, I just gave y'all some game there. Go ahead and create yourself a personal assistant, because I know this. And I was sharing this with clients that I had at a recent event that I hosted here. In 2016, when I wanted to start going online with you guys, I created a program called SSPT. I had helped people for free for about a year, and I knew that people needed this, and people told me they wanted it. But when I released this to the marketplace, only one person bought it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing flopped. But I knew that people wanted it. I just knew that I probably didn't do it right. So I bought a program called Marketing Impact Academy from Shalee Johnson. 850 people were in that cohort. I was her student of the year. It's not because I'm the greatest student. I believe the reason why I was student of the year is because when I was learning, I was able to have help. I had 3 virtual assistants that worked for me full time. Okay. And the minute I learned something in that program, I told the virtual assistants, hey, this is what I just learned. Can you help me do this? And they were able to help me act and implement. Okay. Now, those virtual assistants didn't cost me a ton of money, but most of you might not have that money right now, right? Like I already had a staff of like 25, 30 people. So me hiring 3 virtual assistants was the equivalent of me hiring 1 in-person. So I was just like, yeah, I can invest this in a business, even though like the thing hadn't taken off yet. I'm telling you all that because most of you, your issue is you can't execute. or you really suck at it, or you don't have the time. So use an assistant. You don't have to pay $5, $7, $10 an hour for a virtual assistant. You've got it right here on your phone. There's no excuse for you not to win as we go into next year. There's no excuse. If you don't win, listen, here, I'm going to say this, and I'll finish off the episode with this. It has never been easier. It is hard. Business is hard. 75% of you are going to fail in the first 3 years. That's the numbers, but that does not have to be you. You don't have to be a statistic, okay? The reality is this. I don't care if you like the new administration, not like the new administration. I have no dog in the fight. I honestly think both candidates were pretty brutal, all right? But what I can tell you is this. I told this to my clients when I did the event. You are going to have the most entrepreneurial, friendly administration that we'll probably ever see in our lifetime. So if you can't win now with an entrepreneurial, friendly administration, it might do other stuff that's a little sus. But definitely for entrepreneurs, this is your time. With the amount of help that you can have for virtually nothing, if you can't win today, and you're in healthcare, if you can't win today, hang it up, go work for someone, figure out how to live way below your means. Maybe you got to shack it up with your friend. Maybe you got to shack it up with your mom or your dad or whoever. But you just got to come to reality that this ain't it for you. This is your time. You got to make this your time. I just showed you, we live in a time where you can do this for free. It is crazy. So guys, make it happen. Let's make it happen. Let's make it count. And I love you guys. I don't want to see you. Go build your assistant. All right. You can reach out to me. Let me know how it's going. But I want you guys to make it happen. Till next time.